The moment you discover that you need to work on yourself, the moment you discover that you need to unlearn and relearn certain patterns in your life, the moment you discover that you need help, that it's okay to speak to some people, professionals actually, when you're struggling, you become the chosen one, because your life starts from there. You realize you cannot do it all by yourself. Yes.
That is so deep. You probably need to quote that.
Oh.
I know. But anyway, Jackie, how do you work with children? Yeah, because I'm trying to wrap that around my head. Do they reach out to you directly? Is it through their parents? Is it through the learning institutions they go to? Is it privately? How do you work with them?
They come from different angles. Most of the time it's parents who bring their children for therapy. And when they bring their children for therapy, it's because they want their children to be fixed. And this is what I keep telling parents, and I'll say it here once again. You cannot fix a human being.
Okay.
This is not a car we are talking about. This is not a piece of furniture we are talking about. This is a human being. So when they bring them to me and they're like, oh, Toto, they've done this, they do this, they don't listen. I'm like, I kid you not. When I start therapy with these children, now I'm talking about children who are able to express themselves, it turns out it's the teachers who are contributing to these children's issues. It's the parents who are contributing to these children. It's the caregivers who are contributing to these children's issues. But we are so defensive, we don't want to actually acknowledge, and it is true. We are the ones who damage these children, knowingly or unknowingly. So I'm not putting blame on anyone. But you see, as a parent, if your child displays certain behavior codes, it is up to you to understand that this behavior is communication. There is something they're trying to tell you. Uyo mtoto kutosikia. There is a reason behind that behavior. Are you keen enough to understand why, Ama, you want to fix them?
Mold them in a certain way, yeah.
And you know, even I struggled with this as a parent.
Yeah.
Kwanza when I had my first one, because I had the ideal idea of how my child should be. There is the ideal one, and there is the real one. Ile kiboko inachapanga mtu. Before you accept that child as they are, not the ideal. You know, you want a Barbie doll. Kwanza you have a girl, you have a... You want a child that you can just control.
Yeah.
And then you realize these people have minds of their own. These people want to express themselves. These people have their own preferences. And here you are trying to dominate. Well, I learned from experience. So, and this is something most parents struggle with.
So, what do we do?
You need to accept your child as they are. Because they're unique, they're whole. Yes.
Even if they're making choices that we don't quite agree with.
You know, as the caregiver, when a child reaches a certain age, you people are able to communicate. Are we able to have these conversations with our children? Because you don't have to fully agree with what your child wants. Okay. But are we having conversations? Are we setting limits for them? Are we trying to explain our reasons for not agreeing with what they do? Or we are just quick to place rules, to place limits and punish? It's not about discipline. It's about punishment and control. And when you control something, it speaks volumes behind the scenes.
You know, you and I, okay, we have something in common. You said you had to do studies or a degree in something that your parents wanted.
Yes.
I did the same thing for my parents. Yeah, I was told, you know, this degree that you're pursuing, it is more lucrative in the job market. You want job hunt for long. So it was more about what their reality, not mine.
Yes.
I was very passionate, for example, about and I mean no offense to my parents, even though they are late. I know my family members are probably watching. No offense, I love them to death. Yeah. But they also know that my passion was actually in something else. I was very passionate about, you know, home science, home economics. Oh. That is what I really, really wanted. Yeah. But you see, my dad wanted me to be an engineer. Earlier on in my career, I wanted to be an engineer also. So he just grew into that dream with me. But then now the results were did not support my dream, sort of. But you see, you can tell that it is actually coming from a point of, is it a point of love or a point of control? Is it coming from a point of love or a point of control? Where do we draw the line? How do I know that now the choices I'm making right now is good for my child because I'm their parent? Yeah. And or the choices I'm making right now is good for my child because I say so. Because I know it is the truth I have experienced. Yeah.
They do this from a point of love. But this is what I have to say. You cannot love and control. You need to give some lenience. You need to give some freedom. And because we're talking about a child who's done with high school, right? So they're making career choices and stuff. Yeah. This is a person you can actually have a sit down with and try to understand. They want to, let's say they want to do journalism and you want them to become a doctor. Try and understand. What is their motivation behind wanting to be a journalist? Like, what kind of dream do they have? What kind of vision do they have? And then it's up to you now to come down to their level, because you understand that this is a unique being, that they have their own thought process. They have their own preference, as much as it hurts. I know it hurts.
Even if they want to be a DJ.
But it's a lucrative business nowadays. It pays very well. Entertainment and arts pays. It's not like back in the day where it was something that people used to do when they're struggling. Now you have people even with master's degrees who are DJs and musicians. So why not?